This quest really assumes that you're an idiot. It takes a long time to show you. Here is a troll. Here is all the different things you have to do. So here we go. We're going to jump down here. Don't be scared of taking fall damage like that. It's not a big deal. Just going to grab ourselves some Peace Bloom. Increase our herbalism up a little bit more. And we'll actually... Here's a good technique. Rather than aggro this guy by running up to him and attacking him, I'm just going to run up to him and just enter his aggro radius. And as we... Come on, come over here. Fuck it, I'll just kill you. Unfortunately, the mobs are a little bit too spread out for this here, but one thing you can definitely do is you can aggro things and like start mass pulling them. Generally, that's not going to work here because I kill things so fast that it's not really worth mass pulling. So what we're going to do is we're just going to hit here. And you can see what I mean here. So we're just going to hit here as well. Tiger Palm you. Roll over to you. Grab you. Go in range of the Armored Scorpid. And now we should be able to kill everything. Hopefully nothing evades. Ah! Just went just out of range there. I have a problem with doing that. I tend to overpull a little bit, but that's not too much of a big deal. We're just making sure we kill things as we go along because, once again, as I kill this guy, level 9. And I'm getting all these extra levels, and I'm nearly level 10 without even finishing this Watershed Patrol quest. Mostly because I'm not going to kill that because that's a quest mob I'm going to get over here. Mostly because... As I said, we're constantly killing things. We're constantly getting this extra experience. And this helps you a lot at low level. It's actually surprisingly important. Although I just made a small mistake. My inventory is now full. Which sucks because we're about to go and kill a whole bunch of different things. So at this point, we're going to need to cut our losses and start thinking about what we can do to mitigate this. So, where was that silver leaf? Here it is. Alright, silver leaf. Lovely jubbly. So we're just going to grab that. So now we're going to look at what we can sell. So, let's have a look. We don't need this Fierce Heart Vest. It only sells for 5 copper, not necessary at all. Want to keep the Peace Bloom, that's very important. We actually have braces here that will replace our starting braces, which we can then delete. And you can see I'm doing this all as I'm moving towards my targets. I'm constantly trying to keep myself optimized as I move through. We want to avoid swimming too much because swimming slows you down. You can roll through water, but it's not too fast. So, we'll just blackout kick you to kill you. I'm not going to go over there because that's too far away from the rest of what I need. We'll actually aggro this Armored Scorpid as we move towards these Quillbore. What we want to do here is it's a classic example of just hit you. And because we've killed some Scorpids, we should be able to loot what he had. Yeah. Okay, so hopefully we won't aggro. We might aggro here. We're just going through in between these two aggro radiuses here, just to avoid them because we don't want to fight them just yet. So we're actually making our way over to the next quest objective, which is called Ragaran. I believe that. Yeah, he's called Ragaran. And he actually... he'll have us kill these Quillbore. So... It's not the most optimal route we're going right now, but it works pretty well. What else can we do here? So, one important note, don't delete quest items, because you see if I delete this, destroying this item will also abandon any related quests, which is bad. We don't want to abandon the quest, because that means we'll have to pick it back up, and it's just a waste of time. So, I want to make sure that we avoid deleting quest items. And you can tell what a quest item is, because generally, they will... you mouse over it, it says quest item. This really is that simple. And it will generally be named something weird, like Grimtax Meats, rather than something like Tough Jerky, for instance. So, that's all fine. So, we're going to go through here. We're just going to continue to kill things as we go through here. Nice and quickly. Going to continue to use our roll on cooldown. Make sure we have it on cooldown as much as we can. Movement speed abilities like that are fantastic. Make sure you use them as much as you can. Whoopsie daisy. I accidentally just started a pet battle there by right-clicking on the toad instead of the Diamortal Boar, which was a little bit of a mistake on my part, but that's fine. Now, you see this Warlock over here. He's level 14, and he's doing these quests. Now, you don't really want to do that kind of thing, because, unfortunately, as you out-level things, they'll offer you less experience. We're only about 1 level above the quests right now, so it's not a big deal. Well, I suppose we're a couple of levels above it. These guys are level 6, although if we mouse over, if we go to this and we view our quest log, it seems like it's different now. I've never worked out this quest log. But, yeah, these things, it doesn't actually show you the level anymore, which is a shame. But... I'm also really buggering up how optimal I want to kill these things. I want to kill them in pairs, that's a good idea. Mostly because these scouts are ranged, which is an annoyance, which means you can't really mass pull them too much. You want to stay in melee range of them. But yeah, these guys are level 7, so that's just fine. As long as enemies are yellow to you, then you're fine. If enemies are orange to you, you're probably a little bit under-leveled. If they're red, you're probably going to die. But if they're green, then you've out-leveled them. And they're hardly going to offer you any experience. And if they're grey, then they are nowhere near your level and it will offer you no experience at all. So you're kind of wasting your time by killing them. So that level 14 Warlock will be going around killing these level 7s. And they'll offer him no experience, which means he won't be leveling up. I mean, there are, of course, reasons you want to do it. Maybe he's doing it for reputation. Well, that's not generally something you do at this kind of level. So we're just going to aggro you, hit you, hit you, hit you, and hit you. So you see, I'm constantly using my abilities as much as I constantly can. As you can see, every time I use an ability, if you just look over to the corner and you see my abilities, every single time I use one, I'm just going to clear out this area because I can. And there's a herb over here as well, so that's good. Every time I use an ability, every single one of my abilities goes on a small cooldown. You see that's called the global cooldown. It stops you from constantly spamming and using over and over again abilities really fast, because otherwise I just hit like ridiculous amounts of fast, which would make the game not fun, which would be a real shame. So we're just gonna hit here. I mean, the problem is that these scouts are ranged, which is the biggest problem. So one thing to note, if you're a herbalist or any other kind of a crafter or gatherer, every time you gather something like this, if you get hit by an attack, you will get cancelled out of it, which sucks. So we're just going to go through here and look at what we have. A cloudy crocolisk eye for 1 copper. Nah, we don't want that. 19 copper razor hill grunt braces. That's okay. 27 copper boots. Okay. As opposed to 13 copper boots. So we'll delete the ones we're wearing and replace them with these ones. Not too concerned about my looks right now. And food, generally, you're never going to need food this low level. We want to keep this malachite because it sells for 50 copper. And this might seem completely superfluous. We'll delete these animal bones. It's like, oh, Tuskeh, why on earth are you doing this? Why on earth are you constantly trying to optimize these things? Because this is how you make money in this game. By optimizing the amount of money that you make. By constantly saying to yourself, okay, what can I constantly do to make sure I'm maintaining gold? That I'm making money. And that's really, really important. Really important. So make sure that you're constantly thinking that. As I just... again, these things aren't quest mobs. I'm just killing them for the experience. We'll probably stop doing this more and more as we level up. So right now we're gonna try and be a little bit more optimized. So what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna head this way. We're gonna kill a few more of these crocolisks as we do so, trying to stay in the shallow water so we can continue using our run speed increase. So we will actually... We'll see if we can just aggro you by walking near you. There we go. And then we can move over to this raptor to also fight this at the same time. So make sure... when you're doing this kind of thing and one enemy has to run quite a way to get to you, it's quite likely that they'll evade on you, as you saw that boar do to me. But one way to stop them from doing that is to just hit them. Just... If you interact with them and hit them, then they'll... I'm not entirely sure how the system works, but it seems to either reset some kind of timer or increase the radius at which they will attack you. So that allows you to pull them a little bit further away from their spawn point, which is great. So we could go on a little trail of herbs here and head back the way we came, but we don't want to do that. We can always come back round and gather some more as we move on. So we'll just loot you and continue down here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to, what's his name? Zentaji. We're going to go over to him, and we are going to... we're going to do his quests, because he only has 3 quests. Something like that. He only has 1 or 2 quests to offer us. While at the same time, moving towards him and gathering these crocolisk's teeth. As you can see, I'm trying to do multiple quests at the same time here. That's very important. So it looks like the inventory's full again. So this guy, I think, will have us just attacking wayward plain striders on the edge here to keep them from entering the Baron, entering Durotar. We're just knocking them back home. So this one's pretty simple. Just basically... knock 3 of these wayward plain striders to 50% health, which is actually really easy. You just hit them like once, and they'll go do that. So that's all good. We'll hit you, and here's a good thing. We've actually just aggroed this guy, so we want to hit him. As you can see, I'm strafing a lot here and jumping and turning while I'm moving, because I want to make sure that I never allow an enemy to attack me from behind, because by allowing them to attack me from behind, I am allowing them to daze me, and if they daze me, my movement speed is decreased. Which sucks, because as you can see, as I level up, I am moving a lot. Like, a lot. So it's important that you never let enemies get behind you. So we'll just aggro this guy as we head towards Zentaji again. As you see, I'm strafing to avoid, and backpedaling a little bit here, because I want to pause and loot him to finish the quest. Roll forwards, hand this in, and our next one is to deal with Scream Slash. So... constantly moving, constantly trying to keep enemies from hitting me from behind. As you can see, those guys, they even charge me from... they charge me, actually get behind me. So what you want to do is you want to just turn to the side as they charge you. So just going to continue going down here. And now this is a little bit of a... it might be a little bit of a downside, losing a bit of optimization by killing this guy, because we don't actually need to kill him. Of course, he offers experience, but he's also a quest mob, so killing him gets in the way of other players. Although there are a lot of Crocolisks in this place is really big, so it's not too big of a deal. There's actually level 100 here, or level 60, wandering around. Hopefully he doesn't kill my quest mob. By the way, I just want to pause for a moment and mention this. If you're a high level and you see people questing, don't bloody well kill their quest mobs. You know what that makes you? It makes you an asshole. Don't do that. Now here is our first ever example of the bad. This green stuff is the bad. You stand in it, you take damage. Barely any damage, but it is damage. And that will go from being minimal to being not very minimal at all. Because if you stand in bad in raids, you die. So very important that you learn that early. If you see bad on the floor, if it's fire, if it's green, if it's black, if it's purple, if it's blue, if it's green sometimes, if it's on the floor, chances are it's bad. There are, of course, some that are good. And it's important that you know what those are. But if it's bad, don't stand in it. Learn what the fights do. Learn what enemies do. Mouse over. When you're leveling up, if something hits you, you get a debuff up here. Mouse over it. It might be a beneficial debuff. Sometimes those exist. I'm not joking. Sometimes they do. Alright, so we're going to hand into Zentaji here. Oh, the inventory is full. We want to make sure we get rid of something. We'll get rid of this patchwork belt, which is fine for us because we're just going to immediately equip this cloak right here. So we'll do that. And normally I hide my cloak, but I kind of want to keep it because it makes me look like a newbie. And I like... It reminds me of when I used to play World of Warcraft when I was younger and I was much more inexperienced. So I'm going to keep the cloak for now. I'm going to keep it hidden. Keep it on display even. So right now we have enough Crocolisk teeth to hand in to Grand Matron Tekla. We have to escort Misha, who is over here, over to Ragran. And we also have to complete a quest for Ragran. So what we're going to do is we will aggro these two mobs. This has got nothing to do with how we're going to finish these quests. We just want to get a bit more XP. It really is, as you can see, it doesn't take you very long to kill these things, so it's not a big deal. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to ignore that quest for now. We're going to go over here. We're going to aggro these Crocolisks, make sure we don't get dazed by them. Activate our Tiger Palm, and now we've aggroed 3 of them. That's more than enough to keep us busy. Hit you. Use another Tiger Palm here. Hit you. Use a blackout kick. All sorted. Loot this stuff. And now we're going to fight our way through this camp and kill things, because this camp is what we need for the next quest from Ragaran. As you can see, killing these dust runners. And we actually have a rare over here. He's not a rare elite, he's just a rare. He'll offer us actually enough experience to ding us. I'd be very surprised if we don't ding from it. So we'll go and kill him. This guy has less health than us. It's not a big deal. He just hits a bit harder and is a bit more scary. So there we go. We are now level 10. Lovely jubbly. So very important that we just got a small blue pouch as well. And here is another rare, which is brilliant. So we will continue to... We'll just delete this for now. We don't need to worry too much about that because we're just killing these mobs even without a specialization. So that's all good. We will continue to do this. And another bag. So that's actually going really well. So we have more bag space now. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. So we will continue to kill these guys. We need a couple more battle guards. So we will head through this. Aggro you, you, and you. So we will get our Tiger Palm back up. Hit once more. So we have a even number of chi, so we can continue to blackout kick with as much efficiency as we can. As you can see, we're currently on about half health, but that's not a big deal because at low level your health regenerates really fast. And I'm not actually sure if trolls still have the passive that allows them to regenerate health out of combat faster. I'm just going to have a quick look. It looks like we've lost regeneration. Yeah, that's a shame. Oh well, that's not a big deal. But as you can see, I regenerate health really fast anyway, just because I'm a low level. So we are currently heading back to Misha Torkran. Yeah, sorry, Grand Matron Tekla is in the sunken building, and Misha Torkran is over here. So now that we're heading over to her and we don't really have anything to do, well, we can kill you. So we're going to have a look at what we have in terms of specializations. So we have Brewmaster. He is a tank, a sturdy brawler who uses liquid fortification and unpredictable movement to avoid damage and protect allies. He's a tank. As a tank, you get a whole bunch of great AoE abilities, mostly. You can keep aggro really easily, and it gives you pretty much instant Qs, and I'm just going for the belt here. And we actually get a lovely another bag, which is actually a bit bigger than normal. I just missed that herb over there because I'm multitasking. I'm not very good at multitasking. So, like I said, tanks, very good at absorbing damage, and most importantly, you can level up really damn fast with Dungeon Finder. Although we don't get Dungeon Finder until level 15. Mistweaver, this is a healer. Healers also get pretty quick Qs, not as quick as tanks, but it is a pretty quick Q. They heal with heal over time effects and a couple of big bursty effects. And they're okay at soloing as well. Tanks, of course, are really good at soloing because you can just pull loads of enemies. Mistweaver probably the weakest at soloing enemies, but also not bad. They also use mana instead of energy, which is something that I'm not a big fan of right now in this very moment. I'd much rather use energy because it regenerates faster, and we don't have to... I thought I could jump up that. And we don't have to worry about stopping for breaks to regenerate mana. So we probably won't be going with Mistweaver. And interestingly enough, our quest giver is not here. Now, this is a problem that can happen. I'm not sure if it's because someone else has initiated the event with her, or if it's because she just hasn't spawned in for me. So we'll do a /target grand to see if she's around. She's not. So what we're going to do right now is we're just going to quickly relog. Now, this can definitely help if things aren't spawning in. Because just leaving the world and re-entering can cause the game to script in a different way and be like, okay, it's done something different. You've entered from a different means, and sometimes NPCs will just spawn in instead of breaking like it has here. So it's going to slow us down a little bit. But while we are going through the process of loading back into the game, let's talk about the last spec. The last spec is Windwalker. And it looks like she still is not here, which is a bit of a shame. But that's okay. It gives me a chance, as I just go back in here to wait for her to respawn, a chance to talk about Windwalker. Now, Windwalker is a martial artist without peer, who pummels foes with hands and fists. Now, this one is all about hitting foes, really. It's all about damage, which means when you have Qs, they suck. Okay, here she is. Here she is. She's respawned for us. That's great. All right, so we'll just do this with her. So if you have Qs, they're going to suck as a DPSer, which is a bit of a shame, but you also kill things really fast. So Fists of Fury is great. It's just an AoE stun and loads of damage. Brewmaster, we get a level 11 Keg Smash, which is just a big amount of damage, and generates chi. It's just good in a lot of different ways. So also a note with escort quests, you might not want to kill enemies too close to the escort quest, because otherwise they'll aggro them and then it'll slow down the escort quest. So that's something to consider. So, really, I'm considering either Windwalker or Brewmaster here. Brewmaster may be a good idea because we get Stance of the Sturdy Ox. Let's have a look. Increases armor by 50%, increases stamina by 25%, reduces magic damage taken by 10%, and improves the functionality of Jab, Fortifying Brew, Tiger Palm, Blackout Kick, and Expel Harm. While in this stance, you will stagger damage, causing 80% of the damage to happen instantly and the remaining 20% to be divided over 10 seconds. That's pretty nice. Not so much for when you're solo, but it's pretty nice for when you're in instances. And it's great when you're in raids. And of course, I am considering actually making a Brewmaster Monk one of my mains, so that might be a good idea. Of course, Windwalker also does loads of damage. You get Rising Sun Kick here, which is great. It just hits really hard. Really hard. I mean, if you look at this deals 70 damage. This deals up to 107. It just hits harder. All right, she's going to give us Water Walking now, which is just fine. Hurry up, would you? There we go. So now we can roll on water. That's nice. Huzzah. Okay, so I think for now we are going to go with Brewmaster. Just going to grab that and learn that. So now we have Dizzying Haze. You hurl a kick of your finest brew, reducing the movement speed of enemies within 8 yards by 50%. It deals no damage, unfortunately. Although it's really cool. And actually, I aggroed this water snake with it, so we'll just melee you to get ourselves out of combat. And here is our stagger bar down here as well. So for now, we're going to roll with that. We're just going to get back... roll with that, lol. We're just going to get our abilities back over here. Oh no, her ankle. She's injured. Oh joy. So let's have a look. What else have we missed? We've got Blackout Kick. We don't... Oh, we do have Tiger Palm. That's right here. Okay, so we have all of our abilities back. And now we have Tiger Palm. Sorry, Dizzying Haze as well, which is good for pulling. Where do we want to put this, though? That is the question. We'll put it on Shift 1. Nice and easy. There we go. It's actually quite fun to spam. Deals a lot of threat. And it doesn't actually cost us anything, which is interesting. Oh, there we go. Now we actually have a way of pulling enemies from range. You see that? Actually aggroes them. So we can just pull things together like this. Isn't that cool? As we wait for the Grand Matron, we can just go over here and actually start hitting them a bit. So we're going to be actually hitting a little bit less hard than we did before. But we can also mass pull much easier. Not only because we have a ranged attack, but because we're a little bit more tanky. And we're actually staggering a little bit of damage. 0 damage is being staggered. Oh no, what shall we do? Okay, so now we actually have 2 things to hand in. We have Ragaran's Fury and the other one. So now we have leggings that we can use, and we can head back here. Now we have to head back to Razor Hill. We're not going to Hearth, because we want to save that for now. But now I can actually give you an example of mass pulling. I think we'll go over here, and I'll give you a quick example of mass pulling before we end, because we've actually got a 10th of the way through the leveling process, technically. Of course, it's going to take much longer than that. These guys are all going to be dead, aren't they? How bloody typical. Oh, a few of them are alive. So it's important to note that these guys are... Some of them are ranged. The scouts are ranged. This guy is a quillball, so he's melee. That scout is ranged. That scout is ranged. So here's an example of mass pulling. Grab that. You grab that. And we grab that. And we move towards the one who is ranged and start hitting him. So we're just going to hit him a few times. There we go. Hit this guy. Hit. Generate some more chi. So as you can see now, unfortunately, we can't hit as fast and as hard because we only generate 1 chi with our jab instead of 2, which is a bit of a shame, but that's not too much of a big deal. And as you can see, we only took about 20% of our health there, which is lovely. So we'll head up here just for a little bit of a killing spree, I think. Actually, we're close enough that herbs would have spawned in. I was hoping that there would be herbs down there, but it turns out there is not, which is a shame, but that's okay. So we will just go through here, and we will hit you twice, use a blackout kick to kill you. So we're killing things a bit slower now, but that's fine. Hopefully we can start mass pulling in the future. We're going up to that tower up there. And as we do that, I just want to have another quick look at our abilities, because we seem to now have Tiger Strikes. Your successful auto attacks and their multi-strikes, which is a later ability. Let's have a look. Have a 10% chance to increase your multi-strike chance by 25% for 8 seconds. Okay? So that one's inactive while in a different stance, but that's not a big deal because we're not in that stance right now. That's the healing stance. So actually, here's a cool little thing. We actually have a different attack animation here. It's all kind of this drunken stance, which is really cool. I think that's really cool. So we'll continue to move over here up to this tower. We'll hand in, and then we'll probably go and do the Burning Blade quest as well. So we will head up here. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to split these videos up between days, just to know what kind of a time frame we're working on here. And we will actually roll down here to get this this herb. We'll aggro that and aggro that. Are we going to be quick enough to gather this? We are. Lovely. But yeah, optimizing a little bit there. But as you can see, I've also aggroed this Armored Scorpion over here, who will grant us a little bit more experience. Now we're going to head back to Razor... Actually, we're not going to head back to Razor Hill. We are actually going to go and hand in this Burning Blade quest over here. So we will continue moving in this direction. Kill you. We're not even going to loot you. I don't even want to loot you. I can't even be asked to loot you. We're going to aggro this and this. As you can see, this brew is really great for aggroing things, because even though it slows their movement speed, which sucks for having them come to me, they are at least aggroed onto me and moving towards me, which means that I can... let me give you an example. So I'll throw brew at that guy and at that guy. So now they're both moving towards me. I can roll towards this guy, start hitting him, and I've just going to kill him there. Oh, this guy even charged. That's nice. But basically, by the time I killed one, the other one would have basically reached me, which is great. So we're actually going to see if we can make a jump here. We're just going to jump over this chasm. Really easy. Just jump. Well, you don't even need to jump there. You could probably just walk over it. So now we're going to head towards this cave, and we are going to show you multi-pulling. We would normally have to go back and... There's a herb over here. Normally we'd have to go back and sell stuff at the town, but thankfully enough for us, we have found a whole bunch of different bags, and we got a bag as a quest reward, which is fantastic. So we're going to aggro you and you, and just generate a little bit of chi here, blackout kick you to death. What's great about these balls is that they charge, which is really great. Even if they're slow, they just charge straight up to you. So that's really helpful. So we'll actually just aggro you early, just to get you over to us a bit quicker. Nice and simple. Just going to grab that and loot. A good idea is turn on auto loot and just click once, and then you're done. So here we're going to be doing a bit of mass pulling. I love mass pulling. So we'll start this off at full health with everything we need. So we want to aggro as much as we can here. So just running through should aggro both of these. Yeah. So we'll grab a third here. We'll hit her with a couple of jabs, and then throw brew at you to aggro you. We've used our Tiger Palm to get the buff on us. Used another blackout kick here. We'll wait for a little bit more energy. Hit you with that. Blackout kick you because it would be a little bit of overkill to hit that. We're going to kill her with another jab and then kill you with a Tiger Palm. So we took a lot of damage there, as you can see. Got to be a bit careful because this is also a... it's actually not a dot. It's just a debuff. This is an example of a helpful debuff because once we get to 5 stacks of it, bang! It doesn't ding us, but we actually turn into a demon, which looks cool. Unfortunately, we don't get our custom animation, so I'm just going to right-click that off because I don't want to use it. So we will continue to mass pull down here. And now we actually have Cake Smash, which is just a great big smash like that. Oh, you see the damage that deals? It's pretty damn high. Oh, would you come over here? It seems like she wasn't line of sighting properly there. Oh, well. Good technique with these with casters is to line of sight them, which just means that they can't cast their ability, so they have to come to you. So we will hit you, and then Cake Smash you, which just pretty much instantly kills them, which is kind of amazing. So what we're going to do here is let's do some mass pulling. Hit you, hit you, hit you, hit you, and then we're going to move out of their line of sight by going around here. So as you can see, they can't actually attack us here. Oh, they're actually evaded. That's a bit of a shame. So we'll Cake Smash here, kill half of them. Unfortunately, it's not very optimistic. It's not very optimized, but it will come here. Come here. Oh, he just despawned. Okay. So we have all of our scrolls. We have to hand them back in at Razor Hill, which means we are going to Hearth. So that wasn't the best example of mass pulling. What I could have done is instead run all the way back there and gone around the corner, and they would have all come to me. As it stands, going up here made them evade, which means that they could have all dropped aggro, which sucks. But just leveling back, hearthing back there, which is great. So we will continue to roll around and hand in our quests. Do that. And now our next one is to take us to the blockade. Now, here is where we are going to abuse the fact that we still have the quest to go to Orgrimmar, to hand in that quest, head on out, and just generally have fun and enjoy ourselves, because we have done things in an optimal manner.